Hey everybody, welcome to my interview today. I am so excited to be bringing on this gentleman, Mr. Skeeter Jessop, and he is a U.S. Navy SEAL, was an extreme skeptic when it came to network marketing, and he just I don't know, like I watch him and I am always just amazed, and I think he's just a great person, and I wanted to share his story with all of you because this is the blessing that is network marketing. He was deployed for 8 months and able to build his online business and get a check every week while he was deployed and not working it. So I'm going to bring on Skeeter right now just to, have him tell his story. And he's also going to talk a little bit about our supplementation, because people who are in the military suffer from a lot of different things, specifically PTSD. And he's going to talk a little bit about that. So I am going to invite him on right now. Let's see, Skeeter. Invite. I don't know if that went through, but hopefully he got the invite. If you didn't get the invite, Skeeter, then just come on in and send me an invite to join. Approved.
What's up, Barbara?
Hey.
How are you doing? Hold on one second.
Good. How are you? Are you good?
I'm good. How are you? Go ahead.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking time out to do this today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on here.
So I just want to go a little bit into your background. I saw you at our convention. You were up on stage, and I just really admire you and your wife and what you've been able to do. Your story is very empowering, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about, well, first of all, thank you so much for your service. And second of all, if you want to go into a little bit about that, and then why you got over your skepticism about network marketing, that would be amazing.
Okay. Well, I don't do much, but thank you anyways. So I was the biggest skeptic of network marketing. I hated the system. I didn't understand the system, but all I knew is that most everybody I ever saw try it failed at it. So I didn't believe that it could work. And also, where my wife and I grew up in a little town in southern Utah, we saw a new company like every month roll through that town. So it was pretty bad, the bias that I'd built up against it. But being in the military, it's kind of hard for a spouse to get a job and lock it down, because you up and move every couple of years, every 3 years. In my job, not quite as much, but still there's a lot of moving involved and all that. So it's hard to just really plant your roots in any one spot. And I married my wife off of the farm, and we moved back to the East Coast, and she didn't have any friends or family or anything. And she didn't want to do the job she went to college for. She wanted to do a job where she could work from home. And, we didn't have any kids at the time, but she wanted to have that established so that when we did have kids, she could raise her kids, not have daycare raise her kids. And I agreed with that. That was awesome. But she came up with a network marketing company, and I was like, oh, hell no. We are not doing one of those. We are not doing a pyramid scheme. We're not doing a Ponzi scheme. We're not doing whatever kind of scheme I could come up with. That ain't happening. And she was like, well, I really want to do this. And I said, well, you can do it, but I'm not going to support you in it. You're not really the type of person that can do this kind of a job. You're not a salesman. Wow. She's very introverted. She was very introverted. Like when I would bring friends over, she would go lock herself in the room. And so I'm like, it ain't gonna happen, babe. Like you know, in order to do this job, from what I had seen, you got to go hunt your friends and family down. You got to annoy them to the point where they just can't stand you anymore to get you to join their business or buy their product, right? That's what I had seen. And Anyway, so I wasn't very supportive. I wasn't a good husband, in that regard at the time. I will freely admit that. But she used that as a passion to drive her forward. And fast forward several years, we tried several different companies. Well, she did. They just never really panned out. Sometimes the products were good, but the leadership was terrible, vice versa. And in the end, then she finally got with a company, and after about a year, she started making $400 a month. See, we lost money in all the other companies before that. We never made a single dime. We just lost money, lost, lots of money in some of them. So my anger I felt was well justified. Like all I saw was money going out, money going out, money going out, never coming in. So, anyways, so with this other company, after about a year, started making $400 a month. I was very happy. Now money was coming in, money wasn't going out. She was doing what she wanted to do, and I was like, okay, we got it made. We're good to go. Well, the woman that had got her into this other business calls us, and she tells us that she's quitting this other company and she's going to go work for a new company, and she's going to go become a millionaire. And I was mad. I was like, "Are you kidding?" Like, we finally started making $400 a month, and now you're she was our upline. Now you're dropping us, and you're going to start a new company. Like, why? So she starts telling me, well, I met this guy named Rick Gutman. He's a multimillionaire, made many millions of dollars in network marketing and real estate. He's well-rounded. He spent 5 years being trained by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. He's in the diamond gemstone business. He was he owned his own construction companies. So he's a very well-rounded guy. But he made most of his money in network marketing. So I was like, okay, well, I want to talk to that guy. I want to see what this multimillionaire has to say. So she did. We got him on the phone about 10 o'clock at night, and we had like an hour and a half, 2 hour conversation with this guy. And that's when everything sort of changed for me, because I went from hating the system to listening to a guy that had so much success with it. And it was the first time in my life I'd ever talked to somebody that wasn't trying to sell me something. He didn't want my money. He didn't want anything from me. He was simply presenting an opportunity. And this guy knew his stuff. Like, he knew what he was talking about. And he felt very genuine and honest. And I had never felt that before in network marketing. So anyways, he started telling me things that I couldn't ignore. He walked me through Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. I realized then that I was never going to have wealth by doing what I had planned to do in life. It just wasn't going to happen. He could prove that. And he also walked me through why this industry even exists in the first place, and how it's the greatest system of wealth creation in the world. How I could take $1,500 or less and I could build a global empire of people all over the world working underneath me, and I'm going to get paid, residually, passively, and things like that. So he started to open up my eyes, and he started to show me a vision, specifically with this company, where it was going to go. And it was something I couldn't ignore. So then all of a sudden I got excited. I went from really skeptical and hating the system to being really excited, thinking, you know what? Under this kind of leadership, I think I can maybe make this work. So we did. We hit it hard. Ruthie and I worked together. We leverage each other. She has strengths and weaknesses. I have strengths and weaknesses, and we use those. And together we have built a humongous team that's over 1,000 strong all over the world. And I've been paid since the very first paycheck Vasayo sent out until now. Every single Friday I have got paid. It doesn't matter if I deployed for 8 months of that time. I was gone. Didn't even work the business at all for 8 months. I still got paid every single Friday, because this is a system of wealth where you don't trade hours for dollars. You're creating a system that continually gets you paid residually and passively. So
That's awesome. So why do you think, how was it that you gained traction in the beginning, and how does your military background help with your credibility for that? I mean, you probably have so many people who have that same pain point in your network, that, maybe they're a military spouse, they're moving all over, the same thing. And, this is something that is perfect for them. And I'm sure that you reached out, spoke to them, and also, after that, I wanted you to talk a little bit about, I'm sure that you have shared the products with people who are in the military as well, and how they've helped. If you know anyone specifically that you can talk about that.
Yeah, so I think the military did bring a lot of credibility to it. Also, I think people knew that I wouldn't just join up with any network marketing company. I didn't like them. So for me to
Yeah.
get involved with a network marketing company and learn the skill set and say I'm a professional network marketer, that's like, that even hurts me. Even still, I'm like, oh, I would never be one of those people, and now I'm one of those people. But I feel like I'm a different one of those people than all the other people that I had seen in the past. Hopefully, my the training that I've received, the knowledge that I've received from my 7 and 8 figure mentors on the industry, on the nuts and the bolts, the philosophy, and the things like that of the business, uh, transcend and pass up all the I guess the stereotypes of the other people in this industry that sign people up off of the hype and the idea that we're just going to get them rich without any work and all that stuff. Um, anyway, so I think that back to the point. Yes, the military thing did help a lot. Um, it made me, obviously with my background there, I'm not going to quit. Like, it's not really in me to just quit. I have struggled at times, so I won't quit. But there's tons of people in the military that have that exact same problem. They're having a hard time making ends meet. It's hard for them to get a job without sending their kids to daycare and letting daycare raise their kids. Um, and they all would like to do something like this. And many people in the military are in network marketing companies, but those companies a lot of times lack the leadership and the products and the things that this company has to help them be successful, right? And also some of them become quite cultish, if I can say that. Like, they become their own version of a cult where it's all about the paycheck and the money. It's not about the individual and having that individual be successful, right? So my
Right.
mindset is I want people to be successful in no matter what they do. If they need to go see something else or go work somewhere else to get more success, I want whatever is going to be best for them. Everything isn't about money for us here in this company, right? So that's a big difference that I noticed. But yes, so the products are disruptive. We're completely changing the nutritional industry, which is a huge industry, by the way. The health and wellness industry is a $1 billion industry, and it's expected to grow 500, or it's a $1 trillion industry. It's expected to grow 500 billion over the next 5 years. So it's going to be a big deal, and we're right on the front of that tidal wave. So we have products that are disruptive. Basically, they've taken some of the best herbs and nutrients in the world. They have put them inside a little fatty bubble called the liposome, an all-natural liposome, and that allows the body to absorb up to 100% of the product within 45 minutes of taking it. As a result, the company did $49 million in sales last year, which was its first year. And people are getting relief from symptoms and problems that they have never been able to get to get on top of previously. Uh, there are several military people that I know who have got on the products that had severe PTSD. They had a whole rap sheet of medications. They had issues sleeping and all these other things. They've got on our products and they've got off all of their medications. So we don't we don't say that like we can diagnose or cure anything, but we have
Right.
thousands of testimonies that say that our products have helped many people in many different areas. So uh, I think for the military guys, the main ones that have helped probably the most is the neuro and the sleep. The core and the renew are also really good ones for that as well. But the neuro and the sleep, as far as I know, have been like the most. They've helped the most for the people that have had the severe PTSD problems. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. I've tried all the products. There's a couple products that just came out a few weeks ago, and I'm still trying those right now. But I know that the products work. They do work. We have many testimonies, thousands of testimonies proving that the products do work, and the science behind it is pretty unbelievable. But my favorite product are the Core Complete and the Neuro. Those are the two that I notice a huge difference if I don't take every day. But
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing. So when you got deployed, how long were you working the business prior to getting deployed for 8 months?
a month and a half.
Really? And you were able to build that fast?
Yeah, we built a huge team. in a month and a half. A huge team.
Now, is your team primarily people who, did you do it through online or did you do it in person? How did you do it?
I did mostly through phone calls because I was busy working. I didn't have time to go to home meetings and all that stuff. I would call people, present them the opportunity, and let them make the decision if they want to get involved. We also have a free business school that Rick started. It's taught by 7- and 8-figure earners to teach people the skill set to be successful in this industry. I just think between that, the 5% profit sharing that's available, the disruptive products, and the idea that somebody can come in here with zero knowledge of the industry and within a short amount of time learn how to be successful and do well, it was everything that it just lined up perfectly. A lot of people saw this as an opportunity that they couldn't afford to pass up. And yeah. We got big.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if you're ready to pull drugs and go look at the ship. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, well, I don't want to interrupt you. I don't know if you're on are you on a covert mission or anything right now?
Yeah, I'd be out there if I was, definitely.
Well, this was amazing. Is there anything else that you think that my viewers would want to know about, you, your team, and even your viewers who are on right now? Is there anything that you want to say that about our company, our business school? I know that I came from a different network marketing company as well, and I was successful over there, and I was able to leave my full-time job and do that full-time. But I can just say the difference here is that you really do learn from a business perspective how to present this industry and how to do it like a professional. And you're attracting people who want to build businesses. And that's the main difference that I could say is what I see, and just the mentorship and the leadership there. And you being in the military, you probably have such respect for that, people who are strong in their mentorship and leadership. And you probably recognize that right away with this, that it's consistent. It's true. There are people with good character and integrity that are running this. And, so if there's anything else that you want to add before we, close up here.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. It's everything about this company speaks to success. If you get involved, then even if you have no knowledge and no time, you can still be successful in this. I try to work this business 2 hours a day, and then a little bit more on the weekends. Sometimes I'm not able to even work it 1 hour a week. But I try to put myself at 2 hours a day. That gives me, about 540 to 600 hours a year of building this business. And hey, in the 540 hours or whatever that we did last year, Ruthie and I, we made quite a bit of money, especially compared to what we had made before. And it wasn't even about all the money and everything. Let's be honest. You get into network marketing to make money. But as you get more and more knowledge, it becomes less about the money and more about the people underneath you and the businesses and helping them be successful, things like that. But in 500 hours, we built a humongous business, right? What's 500 hours more going to give us? And then all those people are working 500 hours. It just gets, you start doing many, many years worth of work in a couple of days by the time you add up the thousands of people underneath you that are all doing the same amount of work, right?
And that was how you were able to do that, go away for 8 months and your business still grow, because this is a business of duplication. And I don't know how many you had on your team prior to your deployment, but can you speak a little bit to that in terms of the hours put in and how that duplicated for you?
Yeah, so the month and a half prior to me deploying, I worked really hard. I didn't do just 2 hours a day. I did 10 hours a day. I was on the phone. I just plugged my Bluetooth headset in and I talked to people all day long for a month and a half. Because I knew I was going to deploy and I knew that I had to get some traction and some momentum going. I had to build this system prior to me going if I wanted to get compensated for it the whole time while I was gone. And it worked. I applied the philosophy and the principles and the things that I had been taught by my mentors, and it worked. It continued on. We probably had several hundred people by the time I deployed. And then it just continued to grow and grow and grow, and it's continued to grow, right? Because it's a system, and it made it so that work a month and a half, took 8 months off, worked a few more months, and we still made we made a significant amount of money that year. This year we're doing really well too. It is a roller coaster, you know, in some regards. Sometimes you do really good, have really good weeks. Sometimes you don't do quite so good. But no matter what, we're still going up. We're consistently climbing up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty neat to see the people that come in underneath us come in from nothing and start to consistently climb up. And I'll tell you what, with our business school, I'll sit down with the richest people in the world and I will explain why network marketing is better than any other system on earth. But they already know that because they're already in network marketing businesses where they own them. People like to bash network marketing and say that it's not a right way of doing business, or it's a scam or whatever. But if it's such a scam, why are the richest people in the world doing it? Why did Donald Trump say if he had to rebuild the Trump organization, he would do it through network marketing? Why does Richard Branson own a network marketing company? Why does Warren Buffett own 9 network marketing companies? You know, the people that understand money and wealth creation are involved in network marketing. It is the business of the 21st century. And if you have a smartphone in the palm of your hand, you hold the world in the palm of your hand. Why not use that and create a system of wealth that makes it so that you can go do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, and never have to worry about finances ever again? Like, I can be in a war zone 8,000 miles away and I'm still getting paid. It's worth it. Like, if you want to know how, hit me up, hit Barbara up, private message me, call me on the phone. I don't care. My number is 435-705-0844 if you want my number. And if you got questions, give me or Barbara a call and we'll explain how this system can help you. And
and what do you have to say to the skeptical spouses out there?
Learn from my experience. Don't do the hard way like I did. See the vision. And if you don't see the vision, call me and I'll show you the vision. I'll show you the cash flow quadrant. I will show you why this is the greatest system of wealth creation in the world. I'll show it to you in a way that you can't deny it. It'll blow your mind. That's what happened to me, and as a result, I now make more money than I do as an E6 after 8 years in the Navy. My base pay, and I get that every single week. So, quit being skeptical. I mean, I like being skeptical because that keeps you from making bad decisions. But at the same time, don't be stupid. Like, be skeptical, but don't be stupid. So.
Exactly.
Anyways.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today, Skeeter. I really appreciate it.
You bet.
And yes, if you're in Skeeter's network, contact him. If you're in my network, contact me. We're on the same team. So definitely reach out to us and, get more information. Knowledge cannot hurt anyone.
Absolutely.
And like he said, this is the business of the 21st century. If you're still doing it the old-fashioned way, it's not going to last that much longer. I mean, this is the way everything's moving.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not for everybody. There's all types of people, but for the people who want a secure financial freedom, this is the best way to do it. There's no other way that you can take $1,500 or less and do what we have done. It isn't possible. It isn't.
It's true.
So.
Yes. Well, thanks so much, and I hope you have a great day.
You too. Thank you, Barbara. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for everybody for watching.
Okay.
Guys, take care.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.